What's up guys, my name is Ryan and I recently completed a road trip around Oregon and I want to show you my favorite places, so here's my Oregon top 10. Oregon has to be one of the most beautiful states in all the US. From forest waterfalls to dramatic coastline, Oregon has so much to offer. Let's start this video off at the Tamalich Blue Pool. I've been seeing pictures of this place for years now, so I finally decided to go check it out. It's located about an hour outside of Bend, Oregon, and it's a fairly easy and beautiful hike through the forest. When you reach the pool, you're going to be blown away by the blue color. It's this perfectly placed spring surrounded by a small amphitheater of cliffs. Now when we were there, it was a really cloudy day, so my camera had a hard time showing how blue it truly is. But on a sunny day, the water looks phenomenal. So the reason why the pool is so clear is because it comes from water that filters through porous lava. Now don't be fooled by the blue water because it is so freaking cold. It averages around 40 degrees all year round, and I wasn't going to jump in, but we decided to send it and test how cold the water was, and after some hesitation we plunged into the freezing cold water. I mean, I just couldn't believe how cold it was. I'd love to come back next summer with a wetsuit to do some snorkeling and cliff jumping there. Another really cool spot just a few minutes nearby is Coosa and Sahili Falls. Special thanks to my friend David Rule for helping me out with the footage from here and throughout the video. He's got an awesome YouTube and Instagram that I'll link in the description below. The hike to both of the falls is a 2.6 mile loop and both waterfalls are absolutely gorgeous. Sahili Falls was featured in Disney's Homeward Bound, so if you're in the area, gotta check out both these waterfalls. After the falls, we're gonna head over to Crater Lake National Park. Now located about a 2-hour drive outside of Bend, Oregon, Crater Lake National Park is home to the deepest lake in the USA with a depth of 1,943 feet deep. The lake was formed over 7,700 years ago after the eruption of Mount Mazama. Now one really cool feature of Crater Lake is Wizard Island. It's a 755 foot tall volcanic cinder cone that's located on the western edge of the lake. One thing that Crater Lake is famous for is the pristine clear waters. Really would love to go snorkel and scuba dive there. If you visit the national park, you gotta drive on the Rim Road. It'll give you some of the best views of the lake. After Crater Lake, we're gonna head over to the nearby Tokutee Falls. Now there are countless beautiful waterfalls in Oregon, but what I like about Tokutee Falls is the volcanic basalt columns. They create such a unique look. Now the trails to the fall is a very short 0.4 mile hike. At the trailhead of the parking lot, there's this way interesting giant pipe. Anyways, the majority of the hike is a very well-maintained stairway that takes you to this beautiful viewpoint. We got there right before sunset and we had the whole waterfall to ourselves. One thing I regret doing is not hiking down to the bottom. I just didn't have enough time and I didn't even know how to get there. But needless to say, the view was breathtaking. The waterfall is over 80 feet tall as it cascades down the basalt columns to the pond below. One thing I liked about the waterfalls was behind the waterfall, there's this really beautiful, almost pitch black gorge that had these little small waterfalls right before they fell off the 80-foot ledge. It was such a beautiful location, and if you're in the area, you gotta check it out. After Tokutee Falls, we're going to head over to the coast to visit the Samuel H. Boardman Scenic Corridor. This place inspired me to pack my bags and make the road trip to Oregon. It's home to some of the most beautiful coastline in the USA, and I just can't say enough good things about this place. We went to this stunning place called Natural Bridges, and it's famous for its sea arches. There's a beautiful viewing deck to observe the arches from above, and if you're feeling adventurous, you can hike down to them and get a glorious view of the coast. I mean, it was just such a magical spot. And if you're down in southern Oregon, you gotta check out the Samuel Boardman Scenic Corridor. After, we're gonna visit one of my favorite places in all of Oregon, MEYER Beach. We were driving up the coast and I was looking for a place to watch the sunset, and we randomly came across this beach. We pulled over and explored it, and I was just blown away by the beauty of the spot. The tide had gone out and it revealed a massive beach, and we had it all to ourselves. I felt like a kid again. We were just running around, having a good time. One of my favorite features of the beach was the massive sea stacks. One of them reminded me of Gandalf's hat. I mean, it was just such a magical time. We just spent all the sunset running on the beach. My wife Heather beat me in the race. We also explored the tide pools, and then we found another really cool sea stack that had a hole in it with the waves crashing through it. So I highly recommend making a pit stop on MEYER Beach if you're driving up the coast. Such a cool and beautiful spot. After it, we're going to keep on driving up the coast to visit Bandon Beach. Now, I've wanted to visit Bandon Beach for years now because there's this really cool sea stack called Wizard's Hat. If you haven't noticed this trend yet, I love rocks and apparently anything shaped like a wizard's hat. Anyways, I really had to come see it. So we spent the night at Bandon Beach and we woke up the next morning to see what the town had to offer. We spent all morning just exploring the beach and just having a good time. I was just blown away by all the beautiful sea stacks. The town of Bandon was also just a charming place. It would be a wonderful spot to retire. So you gotta add Bandon Beach to your Oregon bucket list. After Bandon, we're gonna make the drive up to the Sea Lion Caves. Now known as the largest sea cave in the US, it's a site you gotta check out. So to get in the cave, it's about $14 to get in. You'll walk through the gift shop and then go outside and walk down to the elevator, and it takes you down to this cave. I mean, it's just super cool down there. Unfortunately, the time of year that we were there, the sea lions were out in the sea feeding, but in the wintertime the cave is full of hundreds of sea lions. Regardless, the cave was massive. I mean, it's over 1,315 feet long with a rock dome of 125 feet high. In the cave there's a lot of cool features such as history on the cave, and then there's also some sea lion bones that I thought were pretty cool. Now after the caves, we're going to make the short drive over to the Hasita Head Lighthouse. Now this lighthouse is located 205 feet above the ocean, and it casts a light beam that can be seen from 21 miles off the coast, making it the brightest light on Oregon's coastline. Now the lighthouse stands 56 feet tall and was completed in 1893 by the Chance brothers from Birmingham, England. To experience a lighthouse, you can visit it and get up close. If you want to get a great view, I suggest pulling off at the lighthouse and Sea Lion Beach vantage point. It's literally like 1 minute drive from the Sea Lion Caves, and it'll give you a wonderful view of the lighthouse and the surrounding beaches. When we were there, I was able to see some sea lions surfing in the waves. After the lighthouse, we're gonna head inland over to the Columbia River Gorge. Now located about 30 miles outside of Portland, it's a deep canyon of the Columbia River and offers some incredible scenery and waterfalls. One of the most well-known is MULTNOMAH Falls. Now it's this massive 611 foot tall waterfall with a perfectly placed bridge that makes you feel like you're in Lord of the Rings elvish town of Rivendell. Now the waterfall is made up of two tiers. The largest is 542 feet tall and the second is a 69 feet drop. So if you're in Portland, make sure you make the drive out to Multnomah. After Multnomah Falls, we're going to head over to the nearby Mount Hood. Now located about 90 minutes outside of Portland, Mount Hood is Oregon's highest point with an elevation of 11,249 feet. It just towers over everywhere. You can see it in the horizon from Portland. I mean, just such a behemoth of a mountain. This stratovolcano is perpetually covered in snow and is home to 11 glaciers and 6 ski areas. It's a potentially active volcano and it last erupted in 1907. If you want to go to a beautiful lake with a perfect view of the volcano, you can visit Trillium Lake. It's located about 7 miles southwest of Mount Hood and offers a great place to swim and paddleboard during the summertime. After Mount Hood, we're going to head over to the famous Cannon Beach. When you think of Oregon, you might think of this spot. I remember first seeing this beach on Steven Spielberg's movie The Goonies, and I've wanted to go there ever since. It's famous for its haystack rock. It's this massive 235-foot sea stack that shoots out of the ocean. What's great is that Cannon Beach is only about an hour and a half drive from Portland, so it's the perfect getaway. In 2013, it was listed as one of the world's 100 most beautiful places by National Geographic, and I totally understand why. It's a wonderful place to relax or jump in the water if you can handle the cold. It's just a beautiful place that you gotta visit on your next trip to Oregon. Alright, well that is it for my Oregon top 10. After looking at all this footage, I already want to go back and make a part 2. Let me know where your favorite place in Oregon is. If you want to feel relaxed, I started a relaxation channel where I post hour-long videos of places from Oregon to the Swiss Alps with calming music that you can just have playing in the background to bring some peace and nature in your life. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at shirley.films. Anyways, it's Ryan and we will see you later.